Good evening and welcome to another race in the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise Adamant Cup bracket stage, race 3 between LUF and PlumeriaKnight. My name's Vitasia. I'm joined tonight on the mic by Infinius. How are we doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty well. This is going to be an exciting match between LUF and PlumeriaKnight. I'm looking forward to see who comes out of this one. I'm sure it's going to be a great race, just to watch.
Absolutely. We have an interesting round of objectives. Only one objective requiring the Dark Crystal that we know of and completing the Giant. Then we're kind of all over the place, aren't we? Lots of individual one-offs. Burn the package, launch the Falcon, trade away the Rat Tail. We're all over the place.
Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see as well, depending on what we start, because completing the Giant Battle might also lead you to want to maybe do a D-Machine grind, which is something that hasn't been seen too often in this flag set, but this could be the one this could be the one thing that could drive us to do that. Also note that we have to launch it. We have to go for the hook rat any regardless of where we find the magma key. So that's also going to be very interesting to see whether that ends up being free or if we have a magma key start. That's always a fight when you have launched the Falcon as an objective.
I tell you what, I don't know how many times it's actually happened with other runners, but for me, whenever I see launch the Falcon, like my opening or one of my first couple items is always the magma key. Like it's never that easy to just be on the path for whatever reason, but you never know. I mean, that's what randomizer is all about. So we still also have trade away the Rat Tail. I mean, complete Cave Magnus, so guaranteed music tonight, which is always a fan favorite as well.
Yeah, it's also interesting to see who is at the Asura spot, because if that is a high magic, that could either be something we do very early if it ends up being a free fight, or if it's something really we might just wait. We might just hold off on that for quite a while, but that could be one of our key items. So that is always a challenge that you have to always choose from.
And I think our runners are trolling us here a little bit, staying on the custom names, not letting us see who the opening character is. LUF, Plumeria.
Well, maybe they don't have. It could be anyone. Like, I guess if it's an Edge, you'd be really happy if it's someone like a. Oh, Tell is actually good too. At least you have access to exit. And as I said before, you have to complete the Giant Battle. We might be seeing a D-Machine grind at some point, so that's always an up. Once you get up all deals, we get access to the weak spell that enables us to summon find a certain fight that basically gets a whole bunch of summons D-Machines. D-Machines are worth a fair bit of XP. They are vulnerable to weak, and we get to life collection. All the fun things.
Yeah, and Tellus certainly enables that relatively early. Oh, everyone's favorite Spoony Bard right out the gate. And hey, what did I say about an early magma key?
Yeah, well, probably not what you really like. I mean, on one hand, it's early underground access, so you get early access to all the goodies like your sirens, your coffins, your hourglasses, that kind of thing. But we really wanted the hook because we wanted to launch the Falcon and trade away the Rat Tail. Now the hook could be anywhere.
Yeah, no such luck. It can absolutely be anywhere. That would have been nice. We do see the runners doing what is the traditional opening right now, getting the free key item that is located in the overworld in Edward's bed. Some interesting decisions can be made depending on this particular key item. Right now, I mean, as a runner, I'd like to see a pan or maybe a spoon really unlock Edward's potential right now, but who knows? Package.
How about package? That's an objective at least, so we don't have to dig too far out of the way for that. And looks like PlumeriaKnight is exiting, okay, look, LUF is just walking out. It ends up being roughly the same-ish. Although I suppose if you're exiting from there, that's a bit of a time loss there, and there's no real need to do that.
Yeah, I think he probably realized it like right at the end. It's not a huge time loss, but enough of one that you realize it and like, okay, let's get this going right now. PlumeriaKnight is going over here to Kaipo, going to see what all characters is here. Oh, that's an edge in the bed. So this is going to determine whether or not PlumeriaKnight probably turns in that package right away. Because if you burn the Mist Village, that's all you necessarily have to do. But then if you ever have to try to come back to Kaipo Village, you have to go through another long cutscene right there. So I can imagine not turning in that package for a little bit because, hey, if we get that Sand Ruby, Edge is a very valuable character to hang on to right there.
Also interesting to note that, okay, two things to note there. We found Paloma on Hobbs, and the LUF looks like he's just making character checks, whereas PlumeriaKnight also happens to check spy the Kaipo shops, and that's where our life potions and cure 2s are. So yeah, interesting about divergence there, but in the end we all end up in Agar to drop the magma key down the well.
Yep, near simultaneous key drops at that point in time. You got that wonderful 8-bit sound or 16-bit sound in stereo right now.
Well, it's gone.
And the explosion. Just a reminder, winner of this race between LUF and PlumeriaKnight advances to the round of 16. Will be facing Moonblaze Wolf in the next round. So this is definitely a win or go home sort of situation. Now, Infinius, you're a much more superior runner than I am. You're in the bracket stage. Does that kind of win or go home mentality, does that change how you route or change kind of your priorities as you're going through everything, or do you just play your game?
It depends. I think it would depend on how those races went. Like if I lost because I had a huge mistake and that caused me to lose a race, I think I'm more likely to just play my game. But no, if they were just close races and my opponent out execute me, that might prompt me to do more gambling type plays. But that's where I'm sure our runners will watch through the past races and try to get as much information as they can from the opposing runner. So Tom are having a whole bunch of Barcus wine and life potions. So that's a nice shop to be aware of at the very least.
Absolutely. Worth noting, PlumeriaKnight showing us the weapon shop that's in Dwarf Castle. Cat Claws available. We did see Yong available if we ever want to fully cash out that package. Also looks like Coffins available in Dwarf Castle as well.
And this is kind of a rough spot for all our runners because they've basically, one thing they've all skimped on is actually doing a whole bunch of looting. To the point where LUF is looking at trying to buy a single coffin. And because he hasn't actually, I think the first couple of chests he opened was actually in Dwarf, this makes this play a bit riskier. You need to actually afford all the things before you could really look to do this kind of thing. I feel like
that is kind of the danger with the early magma key, isn't it? You haven't done enough looting to really make those efficient checks in these item shops. In particular, the one down here in the Fey March, which we haven't seen yet, but it takes some time to get down here, so I want to be able to invest the time there. We did see a curse ring. That's some nice Hanzo steel.
I mean, we know where there's an edge at least, so edge is available.
And we have enough to buy 1 hourglass. Okay.
So, very important thing to note that of all the shops, we did find some goodies. We found Barcus one, we found hourglasses, we found coffins. You know what we didn't find? Sirens. So, so early grind is kind of awkward right now. You might see given that there is an hourglass, we might see our runners opt into doing something cheeky like go to Emblem to and do a monster chest there just to get XP and also maybe get lucky, spike something really good gear wise as well.
right, in the meantime, finish some looting. We did see Elements is going to be at the Leviathan spot, and the D-Mist is going to be at that Queen spot. That's not a bad spot, but also not necessarily a fun spot there. I recall that spot being a little bit punchy.
I mean, it is a bit punchy. The issue is just more. It's going to be a very slow fight no matter what. The way that fight works is that you get Mist will attack 3 times and then turn to Mist phase, which you then have to sit there, do along. I know, do your nails, read a book, and then eventually the Mist turns back to Dragon form, where you can start doing damage again. So that boss kind of disincentivized going berserk for that fight, but because otherwise you get all the cold mist counters while it's in mist form. So yeah, it's a gross fight no matter what, really.
All right, now Plumeria just kind of walking over some of the same spots that we saw LUF do a little bit earlier. Did check with Yang at that point in time, so we'll be able to at least double dip when we at some point go back to Fabul to do the Fabul defend, and then Sheila 1 at the same time. But we still have, I mean, there's been like a couple things that we've gotten. I mean, I've seen an Elven Bow, I've seen some Samurai Arrows, so we can at least kind of squeak our way by through this early game if we're looking for anything, but not a ton really to help us out here, is there?
No, not really. I think from LUF's perspective, given that he has seen that there is a Palom at Mount Hobbs, that might be the priority. That Palom is very good in this flag set. Once you remove all the good weapons, Palom gets a lot better. Like, because he's just a very good black mage. And what is this selling a Lilith Rod? I disapprove of this.
I mean, so do I, because the Lilith Rod is just amazing to me. Plumeria, meanwhile, is at Fabul Defend, so this will be our first real item check at this point. And he is rewarded with... Oh, Antlion just moved next door.
I mean, I think it sounds like it looks like there's a dancing dagger, so this is it'll be, again, this is doable. It's just, it'll be like, looks like 5 to 6 dancing dagger attacks from Antlion, so that should be okay.
Yep, not what I would call fast, but doable at this point. And I think that's with anytime you have Edward in your starting party, you don't focus on fast, you focus on what's doable and just kind of concede the point.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's that's, yeah, like, it's, again, doable. Like, it's good power early on to actually have a dancing dagger, so may as well just get this out of the way. You're getting you're just minimizing the fact that it's a triple dipper for Bull. It's just going to be a double since you set up Sheila 1. Yeah, this, again, safe. You're happy to be able to take out a single fight with just an Edward, and yeah, we are now through.
That'll be nice. Got Edward a little bit of levels there. Dancing Dagger probably will be good for just a little bit longer. But in the meantime, we have our reward, and it is a fantastic... Oh, gosh.
Oh, God. Oh, gosh, indeed. So, early Darkness Crystal, at almost... We might be seeing finding out who our characters are, and then climbing ordeals, and then going to do the giants. Yeah, that is a... And that's a legend sword, so not quite value. It is a key item. It's Plumeria's 4th key item, but yeah, this seeing Darkness Crystal would scare me a fair bit.
It's terrifying to me right at the moment.
Yeah.
So I mean, at this point, no one is going to be terribly comfortable right at the moment. I think you go and check what the character is on the moon, and hope that it's someone viable. You have Palom that's available right here. You do have a Yang that's available if you want to do the whole package route. And I think
there was a Rosa.
Really good.
I was gonna say there's a rose in Baron Inn as well, so that might if there's a in fact that might just be a party, like our in-game party of young Poem young Rosa, Palom, Teller. That could just be it. That's a perfectly valid party. You're going to get to white on Rosa relatively quickly. You have your outs to any like to Valvalus with your young. Yeah, we might just be done with characters.
I mean, it's not necessarily what you want to see, but you'll make do, I think, at this point in time, and that's the nature of these randomizers. Sometimes when you're, especially in an elimination match right now, like you get your party, you know that there's a grind available to you in the D machine grind, and then sometimes you just gotta go.
Yeah, and you also know that's giant. You have to go onto the giant anyway. Like that's the big tiebreaker there. Like you have to do giant. Like you can't avoid going there anyway. You can't fade it. So just I feel like that is the play I would make in this spot.
And really, we have some decent equipment. I mean, I would definitely go get that Yang. I mean, we saw the cat claws that were available. We know where the life potions are. I think the only thing that I would hesitate on is knowing where's our MP regeneratives, so we can keep our Tella online and keep using weak for as long as we need to.
I think I saw PlumeriaKnight spy some in Dwarf. I think they were Ether ones. Oh, so that would work in a pinch. I guess if you also find Succubus, or if you have a just putting it out there, if you have a Palom, you can always use them as a battery and just use Lilith Rod. But who would actually sell their Lilith Rod anyway? Oh wait, LUF did. Never mind.
You're just a little bit salty about that, aren't you?
Just a bit. Looks like Plumeria is just going. PlumeriaKnight is actually going to Antlion. I mean, I get it's a main check, so you may as well go here. You never know. You could get you could find something neat there. So.
Well, and I think another important point is that if you happen to find a spoon, then Edward is someone you keep then, just because of that massive attack power bonus.
That's true. Yeah. Also, okay. I think as a runner, you probably hate to see that King Queen in that line. It's the freest fight in game. So yeah, it's kind of awkward. You kind of want to see it on the giant just to make that a bit easier, but kind of unfortunate otherwise. Well,
okay. I mean, I think you got to turn that in, right?
I don't know. Like I don't know. The only thing it could possibly be that would make me, I think with this what we've seen so far, the only thing I'd probably think about wanting to see at the moment is an adamant armor. Because think about what you can get, right? It's you can get a Moonveil, which is good. You can get, but all the other things aren't really things we want for our current party. Like maybe you want to consider an Artemis arrow, but everything else doesn't really fit for what our rest of our party does. So I might actually just opt into not checking that. Honestly, it seems weird because like you always seem to say, "Oh look, you've got the forge. Like, you should forge," but like you have to think about what benefit do I get from this, and if the answer is I could hope to hit an adamant armor, you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Black Eyes, our tracker for the evening, also saying the extra shop might be worth checking as well, which I like, but I do see your point. Like if your rationale for doing a check is, well, I might get an adamant armor, then it's probably not worth it. Meanwhile, PlumeriaKnight, first round to find his Rosa, second round D-Lunars. This is not overly difficult.
The problem is going to be the punching, because this is a slow spot, but once those D-Lunars start punching, you're going to get into recovery mode very quickly, I believe. You're probably going to see a Fire 2 from Pound to hopefully get the one shot.
LUF is the first one to summon the big whale, so it'll be interesting. I think LUF's going to be making that, be pulling the trigger there to go to the moon to at least check the spots right now.
Yeah, that's a fair decision to make too. Like as I said, you pretty much know you're going to the moon sooner rather than later. I guess you're just hoping that you get, I don't know, an upgrade potentially. Like maybe if you find a dupe edge or a cane, that might be worth considering. Oh, Sirens on the Moon is interesting.
Yeah.
So, this is now we actually have an interesting dilemma on our hands. You could, if everyone's so inclined, choose to buy those Sirens out and then just do your grind on Earth and then look at the giant whenever you feel like it. And LUF has in fact bought a whole bunch of Sirens. Meanwhile, we got the hook in Baron Inn, so that's suddenly an interesting choice for PlumeriaKnight. That's another character check, so maybe we actually don't need to get sit through that cutscene, that package cutscene to get young. We could find a better berserker, potentially. But LUF is actually going to let us know who is on the moon.
Womp womp. I mean, not that Porum's bad. She's just not Rosa.
The one thing from LUF's perspective is that does mean he doesn't need to do Baron Inn. He now has his white mage, so like we might look to do something really spicy. We're seeing a dive from LUF into the Lunar subterrain. I'm really curious to see where he is going with this.
This is spicy in so many ways. I mean, this could just be randomly checking some bosses, just like, hey, if there's something free, I get a incredible jump start on my experience. But this is risky. This is a huge time sink right now.
Yeah, it is. Are we going for? Do we have we have mute arrows. Oh, this makes more sense now. So we can actually just right? Yeah, we have mute arrows or we have an elven bow, right? So this is just going to be a quick warlock fight. Oh, we even have a mute dagger on Palom. Yeah, this is just going to be a quick initial grind just to get going. I like this. Now that I think about it out loud, I like this. And you can just use the hourglass here. It's quicker than doing King Muse at this point because we don't have access to weak. It's going to be a very slow fight. Oh hey, what about
duplicate Rosa?
Now this is a problem for LUF because now because that hourglass did not get used. I think LUF is in panic phase.
No, the hourglass got used.
Oh, did it? Okay. Oh, right. So the flames went off anyway, but now we can just set ourselves up. Use and have Yes. Okay. So this is gonna be a very quick chunk of XP. It's just gonna be a bit slow because we only have one Darkest Wine. So, but it's still a good way to get experience.
Oh my goodness, and relying on just Edward to do the damage right now is pain, I think.
But
meanwhile,
there's a huge... You're gone.
I was just going to say, welcome Raiders and Free Enterprise 2.
Oh yes, this is a very fun race between LUF and PlumeriaKnights. We have the entire world is open to all of our runners, and you know this is going to be interesting to see who comes out of this. The winner of this is game 3. The winner of this race will go on to play Moonblaze Wolf in the upper right quarter of the bracket. So, yeah, we're currently seeing LUF getting initial levels with a Warlock grind which makes a lot of sense at this point. So, and yeah, Plumeria is just racing Lunar away and is about to find its form on the moon.
Oh no, Edward's out of arrows. Gotta restock.
I think Poison's the next best one. And this is actually just having the power of having found Elven Bow. It just unlocks this in general. And I think after this we're going to have Quake. This is basically an egg, more than an egg at this point. So yeah, 83,000 XP. That's easily Quake on Paladin. This party is up and running. We might actually opt into at this point. Just clearing checks. But animating for his trouble as well. And just to answer your question, BYO Battleship. No, if LUF did opt into trying to use Medusa arrows, you cannot life glitch them. They are in fact they have the stone status effect. They're not dead.
Alright, PlumeriaKnight also finds a Siren, so you know what, as much as I hate it, I think D Machine Grind is off the table for this particular run.
Yeah, most likely. Like, I think now that LUF has gotten in the initial levels at this point, I think we're less likely to see it now. Oh, that's an interesting question. Can you toss a soft if you stoned an enemy? I actually don't know that. I suspect the answer is no, but I haven't tried. Now I've tried some niche things in my day.
Now I want to try it. Like, I just want to try to set it up at some point.
Oh, okay. Shouts to Antidel for answering. Like, apparently you can, but there might be an issue where you can't target them with attacks, which that is probably problematic if you're trying to kill them. If you have to try and kill them again. But
there's always new ways to break this game. That's what I learn every night.
Yep. Isn't this great? I mean, to be fair, if you're a developer for this game, who actually ever thinks about, oh, what happens if if the user decides to unstone a thing they successfully tried to stone? Like, who thinks that's a good idea? Like, no, that's not me speaking ill of the game. That's just me saying, look, who thinks of that use case? That's such a niche case. Like, I would not consider that.
So LUF opts to ditch his Edward, who's already gotten a few levels, by the way, and says, "Yep, I will go ahead and take that Rosa." So full magic party right now on LUF's end.
Yeah. Meanwhile, PlumeriaKnight is climbing up all deals at this point. At the very least, getting our tail unlocked it. No, so at the very least, so that's nice at least.
Plumeria running with 2 Rosas, by the way, so same party setup. All mage party on PlumeriaKnight, just with 2 Rosas instead of a Rosa and a Porum.
Hey, so you know how we're talking about having things that are good against mages? Guess these guards are... Well, these guards are clearly mages, don't you know? You can tell.
Sword, shield, heavy armor, greaves. Yep, that looks like a mage to me.
Yep, mage. Yep, mage. Yep, clear mage. So, yeah. So it looks like this Rosa has the elven bow. So it's going to go to town. We'll get these very quickly. Only about 1,200 each. So, should be through this fight pretty shortly after this aim.
So LUF taking a little bit of time and backtracking right now, going to be doing some of the other checks in Antlion Cave. I don't know, I mean, at this point in time, when you have the levels and that's the advantage that LUF has over PlumeriaKnight right now. Not that they can see each other and what they're doing. I honestly think if you've taken the time to get some levels, you need to focus on doing some higher level things. Some things that PlumeriaKnight hasn't done yet. Things like what he's doing right now in Antlion Cave is something PlumeriaKnight certainly would have done. Now he can blitz through it pretty quickly, but I'd like to see him focus on doing things that will really be leveraging that advantage that he has in those levels.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair enough perspective. I think the other thing is that you just want to see if you can get key items, just get key item after key item, because you kind of want to save up. Because I guess the presumed goal at the end of this is to hope to get to 10 key items and then grind up to Nuke. Since you know that Sirens were on the moon. And Nuke will make quick work of the Nuke does make quick work of that Asura spot, so that's nice at least. But yeah, now it looks like LUF is now going to forge. Okay, we did discuss this. And I guess at this point LUF has the money to be able to afford something in the shop. But again, it could just be I don't know, something that's not quite as good. Meanwhile, we're about to have Odin disappear. I expect. Oh wow, Rosa, I expect that to do a bit more on that. Meanwhile, LUF gets a white shirt, which, that's actually a good one. And there's a Stardust Rod. Okay, so that might.
Yeah, I'm selling everything. Where's that Hanzo steel that we found? Yeah, I'm selling that. Go.
Yep, selling that. Yep, I agree. I think at that point, now you've actually committed to this, you kind of want to sell it Hanzo, or just know that they come back later. I missed what PlumeriaKnight got for ordeals actually.
Just a cat claw. So I mean, the real incentive for coming up here was unlocking Tella. Not a key item at all. It was just a cat claw right now. So that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is unfortunate, but again, if the plan is to do a bunch of D machines, that's kind of a prerequisite to be able to do it. So there is that at least.
Well, we'll see. I mean, PlumeriaKnight is set up with a full mage party. If you're going to be doing reflect strats, certainly set up very nice to do it. Yeah, I tend to agree. Like, you are banking on getting an edge at some point. We do know where an edge is, of course. We just need to turn in the Sand Ruby. It does look like PlumeriaKnight is going to be turning in Coco as well right away.
Yeah, is going to get his white shirt. Probably a lot more use for survivability if nothing else. But you know, you're not too sad. And oh hey, the hidden chest had a coffin. Nice. That's a very nice pickup for I mean, you've already seen the Baron guards, but that's still a 4K of gold saved up by not having to just by fighting it in the overworld or in a chest somewhere.
So LUF is now doing some looting through here in Cave Evelyn. I wonder if... Yeah, it looks like he's going to be doing item shop now.
I think there were elixirs here off memory. Just trying to remember what was there that's worth coming back for right now.
I mean, those...
Oh, meat bells. Okay, that makes more... Okay, so... Alright, so that probably means that LUF is going to look to do Warlocks as his grind and not... as his initial grind and not anything else. And not... excuse me, not doing a D Machine grind.
Yep, and it does look like... Meanwhile, PlumeriaKnight is cracking some eggs right now, so getting experience on his characters. Both runners are now kind of committing themselves to this full mage party, which is doable, absolutely. It does take a little bit of finesse on Zeromus, though.
And there is a slight risk in this party in that if Valvalis ends up being required, especially on the moon, this party is going to really struggle with that. They don't really have an access to a physical DPS character unless they find an armor and put it on, I guess, Rosa, and then they put the samurai bow and some good arrows on her, and maybe get through that quickly. But that already does not sound like a great plan.
Well, also keep in mind, one of our required objectives is complete Cave of Agnes, and that is a very high magic defense location at that particular spot. So this is the least optimal party for anything that we may find there.
Yeah, that's also a very good point you raised there. Like, yeah, with K Magnus being objective, like I suspect what Plumeria is probably just did initial grind just to get Quake, and then we might look to see a Dwarf Castle play just to see if we can get a good physical character. It doesn't involve us having to sit through a cutscene or seeing through the package cutscene. Hey, so we talked about mage killing gear before, right?
I think we've mentioned mage killing gear several times in this stream. So
okay, cool. So seeing Asura here, that is going to get another good workout. Because there's no nice way to do this fight. I don't believe. Meanwhile, LUF is actually going to sit through this cut. Oh, never mind. Just reset.
Changes his mind and says, no thank you.
Yeah. So it looks like LUF is just essentially retreading some ground that PlumeriaKnight has tread before. And yeah, it looks like we're trying to set up the wall onto Asura. And probably going to set up Blinks, and I think looks like we're going to be bluffing a couple of Quakes, it looks like. And have that be our way through this fight.
I mean, it's a fantastic way through this fight, because Asura doesn't actually attack, she only counters attack. Otherwise, her script is just heal, 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 heal. So, setting up the reflect and then getting your party set up with everything else that you want. Berserk right now, Rosa, it will be doing a little bit of work, but other than that, we have blinks, we have the quake set up. Taking the time to get this set up will do wonders for Plumeria here.
Yeah, this should be it. This fight essentially free now. We've set up all our blinks on our casters. We have Berserk going on Rosa. The wall is on Asura, so she's not going to lose that anytime soon. And yeah, I think it's one more. I believe it's one more quake from Palom and a shot from Rosa, and we're done. Especially when it does 2.7k. That is a lot. That is not a small number.
Absolutely not. LUF going back up to the moon. I think going to be taking those mute bells and putting them to work.
Yeah, I think that's okay. That sounds to play like if you. Oh hey, do you like vanilla?
I love vanilla. I think vanilla is an underrated flavor.
Yeah. So, yeah, Gold is going to be free. It's just going to be annoying. And it doesn't get the mute off, so it's going to have to do this the quote unquote fair way. I hope. To be fair, the magic here isn't that strong, so apart from Teller, everyone should survive the first spell anyway, so not a big problem. But you just rather not have to waste that time is all. But I guess the other thing is the sooner this is one of the big philosophical things. The sooner you do a big grind, the more benefit you get from it later essentially. Like, because you start the sooner you do your grind, you get through checks quicker. Yeah, things just help out a fair bit afterwards. Yeah, so we got the mute bell off. We should have Berserk on Porom, I believe.
Yeah, Porom will have Berserk, and we'll be using it on Rosa, who just equipped the Elven Bow.
Yeah.
The nice thing about those mute bells is you can use the hourglasses on the Warlocks, which is perfectly fine, but they each get a round off. When you have the mute bells, they immediately take effect, so they can't do anything afterwards.
Yeah, and yeah, exactly. And also something that's very relevant, given that is SL quarter, a lot cheaper. Being cheap is good.
It is good. I mean, money is not necessarily an issue for this particular flag set, but it certainly helps.
Yeah, that's having money constraints can be annoying at times. Ooh, and that is an Earth Crystal from Dwarf. Not actually an objective, but that's 2 more character checks if that's what PlumeriaKnight wants to go for. But and we also might rate that Treasury potentially. It's 40 minutes in.
We haven't done a whole lot of looting up to this point in time, so maybe
we're going there.
Plumeria, are you going to be our hero? Oh, gotta make space first. I like.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, gotta make space. Oh, hey, there's where E for2s were. After all that gallivanting around to potentially do a deep machine grind, they were E for2s. Oh, and Soma drops.
We bought a Soma drop. Okay.
I mean, we all know who that's going to, right?
Kane. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
We're saving for Kane, exactly. Oh no, it turns out we're just giving it to Teller because Apparently he deserves it. But it looks like we are, at the very least, going up Zot, at the very least. The big question is, are we going to take a good right turn to the Treasury or not? And we are!
Rate that Treasury! All right, and we're gonna rate that Treasury. Samurai Arrow's Charm, okay.
Runex, okay.
Strength
Ring, Kamikaze. Inventory boss.
You were in town, should have just taken care of it.
Yeah. Can I just give it Treasury like a 2? Like,
yeah,
there was really nothing there that really jumps out. You already have a curse ring. Like, you're not cursing 2 characters. Is it better? I think the samurai bow was samurai arrow was the best thing we got from that. Isn't that sad?
I mean, okay, so you have 2 roses. So the second lunar staff is nice.
Yeah.
Another ninja hat to help with agility.
We have a curse ring. Like, we don't need help with agility in that case.
I mean, yeah, that was okay. The official rating for that Treasury, yeah, I mean that's 2.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, even a 1.5. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing is, for those who are saying that the Treasury redeemed itself, our runners already had a curse ring from the Fey match. So, not getting getting a second curse ring isn't valuable at all. It's only the first that's really valuable. But yeah, like in context, I agree.
Like there was a lot of decent stuff. Like we got some decent swords and some decent armor and lots of stuff for people who are not appearing in this seed whatsoever.
Yeah, like the Rune Axe is actually also a decent pickup some of the time, but like, But we also don't have a person who can actually equip it at the moment. We're currently going through double white mage and
Alright, LUF continuing the grind up here. Rosa's sitting at Cure 4 now.
I think LUF is now out of Siren, so we might be seeing something very spicy.
This might be time to check the bosses up here, because if your Rosa is at Cure 4, you're capable of taking on some pretty mean bosses.
I mean, yes, but they might be slow. Like this is a bold gamble. But I guess if you have Cure 4 and you have Quake, maybe if you find a free boss. Oh hey, there's someone who can use that Rune Axe we found.
And all of the equipment that we found.
Yeah.
Do you want to commit to a cane though?
Apparently we are off Rosa. So we're going to now. Yeah. So this is for if we're going to commit to full reflect. This is a better step. Double black mage is significantly stronger than double white mage. If we're going full mages, nuke is just so much quick. so much of a better spell, and it's also got a faster cast time. Yeah, in that sense, this makes sense.
I mean, plus we already have some summons for Rydia, so we're doing all right there.
Yeah,
LUF, yeah.
Yeah, I mean Rydia had Leviathan, and the Mambam here not great. This is gonna be
no.
Like, honestly, I'm not even sure if this is worth it. I might, if I'm down here, this is gonna be incredibly slow. But no, we also get about to see the real fights. And down goes Rydia, but this Quake should be enough to take out Dr. Luge. Right, so our reward for going well is at the very least upgrading one of our mages, but is it also rewarded with a key item? With a required key item, because that was a long check just to get something.
It was. You're really hoping this pays off. I think, certainly wanted to do a character check at very least, so did pick up at least a Rydia. And oh.
Wow. That's unfortunate. That's a Zonk. So that Earth Crystal doesn't lead to anything. Again, the upgrade ends up being the Rydia, but it looks like PlumeriaKnight is okay. We're going Moonside. Might probably just going to pick up a whole bunch of Sirens and then head back down, I imagine.
I gotta say, this is one of those seeds, and it opened up for us wide early Magma Key, early Darkness Crystal. This is one of those seeds that I've not felt like we've had much guidance from the seed on what to do or where to go. It's just like, well, here's a bunch of crap party members, deal with it.
But no, I think that Rydia was the sign. Because it looks like we are now selling the farm to get more Sirens. Alright, so that is exactly 30, I believe PlumeriaKnight has exactly 30 Sirens. So our goal is our goal here is to basically use all the Sirens, get Rydia to nuke, and then blow up the seed.
Where was the hook, Ikamchi? I believe the hook was in the Baron Inn. Although...
yeah, it was
early, yeah.
It was Baron Inn, yes. Again, we're... Okay. So... This is where things get tricky here, because I'm not sure if I guess we're about to find out very quickly if whether the explosion will cause the LUF's party members to wipe, because I am honestly not sure, because I don't think we're going to get the face tip at this point, so we're just going to hope this is good enough.
Looked like it was good enough to survive, just a couple hundred from all of them, and then
Quake there. Easily.
Yeah,
easily.
Okay, this is going to be good.
Oh,
and required Twin Harp. Okay.
Neat. Meanwhile, PlumeriaKnight is spying who is at Okay, value. And it looks like that is a Bahamut.
Looks like that's Ruby.
Sorry, the words are hard. My brain knew it was Ruby. My word said Bahamut. I don't know. All right.
It's late. It's okay.
I need coffee. So that evil there, not something that is easily handled while easy handler. That's something we just need nuke for, unfortunately. So we just gotta give it a miss for now, and hopefully hope that this Master Unit Altar has value instead. I mean, to be fair, we also got plenty of value from actually getting one of our objectives being the twin half. Well,
I mean, this makes it easy. Remember that one coffin that LUF bought?
Yeah. Great. That probably earned itself. That was money well spent to get that one coffin. And you also don't have to spend an hourglass for this. Yeah, fun for everyone.
Yep. The script for these soldiers is if their officer dies, they just kind of go berserk and just start fighting each other until they're all dead. So it's really is a free fight if you happen to have a coffin at that point in time. And in this particular location, this is going to be a lot of experience, including with the life glitch that we ended up getting on the officer, which has the bulk of the experience here.
Interesting would try and go for this, but I guess LUF wants as much XP as possible, so it makes sense here. But no, this dive has worked out very well for LUF. We managed to get through two bosses, 2 checks, three key item checks, 2 bosses, and okay, another white shirt. So I guess that the fact that we now have 2 white mages is not a problem now. But the big thing there is the levels.
But now comes the grind for PlumeriaKnight, though.
Yeah. Just use a coffin just to kickstart it essentially, but the first one. But then probably expect Callum to start using Quake potentially, or Virus just to get the next one off and running. Alright, so LUF is actually going to commit to this, huh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily blame him.
Yeah?
I mean, Berserks, I think, yeah, we have the firepower. Oh, wow, this is fast, though.
Yeah. The big problem here is that Evil cheats. So, like I said, this to me was like, this was nuke required, basically. And yeah. That's a reset. Like, just doesn't have the protect. Just needs more levels to just handle that. So, off to the Crystal Altar we go.
And Infinius, I kind of want to ask you about Dryalizer is pointing something out here that I want to get your opinion on. We're at 55 minutes into this seed. There's no objectives done. Now we can do Launch the Falcon, we can do Queen at Monsters, we can do Complete the Giant, we can do Bird Nest. At least LUF knows he can complete Cave Magnus as well. What's your mindset right now if you're at this 56-minute mark and there's no objectives done and you're in this race?
I don't know, it's kind of weird, but because I think my perspective would have been I will try to focus objectives as best I could. So in this case, I probably would have done a D-Machine grind of just D-Machine grind that earlier. But no, it's I think given the decision, given what you've seen so far, like you know that there's a Demus at Asura. That's gonna be pain no matter what. Like the package you kind of want to leave to last anyway because well it's just a long check. You could and since especially since you know that there's an edge in Sand Ruby, that would have blocked you off from doing that. Again, Giant's just slow. Launch the Falcon. You already had you started with the Magma Key, so there's no actual rush to do that at any point. So I'm more inclined. I'm probably okay having not done a single objective since I know that burn pack misses fast, and the other two of those other checks are slow as heck. And I guess the fact that we know that you have to complete the Giant of Babel probably means and launch a Falcon. I know this is going to be a slog of a seed anyway.
Well, and you make an interesting point with Burn the Mist Village is last, but how many of these other objectives are typically you try to set up as the quote-unquote last thing you do? Launch the Falcon, complete the Giant. You know, those are all things that you kind of hope to be able to do last as well, just because they route in so well.
Well, I guess we get to if we've left the hovercraft at the in Eblin, we do get to do the really fun route of after we finish full clear the moon, we can complete the go do the Giants. You know, and then once we finish the Giants, land the whale down, and look where we are. We're at Eblin. We can take the hovercraft and go through the hook route. And I'm going to imagine that was not an intentional virus cast. That was a awkward thing that happened there. Oh yeah,
the nice thing about this. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, you go.
I'm gonna say at least the nice thing about this Mylan fight is his lit ones are not doing very much damage at all at this location.
Yeah, the big threat in this fight is the punches here at this spot, and well, we have 2 blink casters, so that's no threat at all. All we need to do is blink away through this, and yeah, we're done. So while there we go. There we go. LUF is through this moon fight. Assassin's Dagger not quite the what we're looking for there. Potentially useful for some other spot locations, but yeah, that just leaves a very awkward evil war for LUF, and I'm not convinced that that's doable even after getting those levels from evil war, from Mylon. So I don't know. I think I'm inclined to just. I think given how long I think it's going to take to do that evil war, I might just be very. I think I'm just going to be very sad and just admit defeat and just last location, leave that for last. But looks like no, we're at least halfway through Plumeria's grind. I see this. He has 13 sirens left, so yeah, should be getting good. Getting a whole bunch of levels pretty quickly. Should be done about an hour 5. And to answer the question, chat, were the key items in the moon so far? Yes, there were. the required twin harp was actually on the moon. So, and the Luca key, which might be something our runners might want to chase later.
Now, what's really going to come down to everything, how valuable this is going to be for LUF is if you can follow those, and those end up being where the rest of our progression is. Like the Luca key holds the rat tail, or the twin harp holds the super cannon. That's where the value is really going to come in. If those 2 key items end up locking anything, or this location as well. PlumeriaKnight is going to have no problems just bum rushing everything once he eventually gets up to the moon. With 2 nuke casters that he's setting up for right at the moment. It does take a little bit of time. And there's Meteo and White.
I mean, for what's worth, PlumeriaKnight's priority after this is to head to that fair match and take out the Queen of Tail monsters, because that is also something that could be gaining our rat tail, our tower key, that kind of thing.
Absolutely. I mean, I would like to see PlumeriaKnight go over and purchase a couple of those Stardust rods that we have available for sale, but,
Yeah. So while we're in a bit of a lull, just follow our runners, follow LUF, follow PlumeriaKnight. They are putting a heck of a show. This has been a very interesting, wide open scene. And it's great that we've got a whole big bunch of divergence between our 2 runners here. So yes, go give them a follow. And
sometimes in free enterprise seeds, you get 2 runners who are just walking over each other's steps, and it's very linear. This has not been that kind of scene at all. We've been in separate places almost from the word go.
That is unfortunate reason for LUF. I guess we're going for round 2. And just to point out, LUF has not gone up all deals. Just a reminder, LUF has actually failed. Did not get the cat claw. Teller does not have weak or Meteo, so that is this is a rough fight to see here.
It's rough to see, but I mean, I kind of like the commitment to it, because he's made the commitment that, like, hey, I'm going to stay here and I'm going to do this because this is going to be terrible no matter what happens or when I do it.
Yeah, and it's true. Like, being here just sucks. Like, not having nuke here is really problematic. The best you could hope for is maybe try to consider other options. But yeah, this is probably one of the downsides of having shortened your grind. Like, if LUF had bought more sirens, and maybe considered using mute, having Poem cast mute to get on those walls, as opposed to using those mute bells, we might be getting through. We might have nuke by this time, and that we probably make up the time that way. And yeah, that is another way. Yeah, and yeah, that's fair. We're now bailing. We're just go. That's too many times having gone through it. I think we're just gonna cut our losses. Fair enough.
Do we have any in the Tower of Wishes? Yes, we do.
On the plus side, for LUF at the very least, we know we have an objective to chase. So, in the twin harp. So, I imagine that'd be our first priority, having completed our moon clear. Also gives us a free heal of sorts, so that's also good.
All right, both Palom and Rydia have unlocked nuke. So this party is fully online and ready to do some damage here.
And we're seeing the classic Chocobo from Barren Forest. Chocobo Forest, as opposed to going up the traditional route, because for some reason the devs thought that it would be a good idea to put a black Chocobo there once you raise the Lunar Whale. Sorry, once you walked into the Lunar Whale. Don't ask me why, it just is. It just...
I'm fine with it. I mean, it is what it is.
But yeah,
well, PlumeriaKnight is setting up right now to do this king and queen of the underworld, of the Fey March. And meanwhile, LUF, this is going to be kind of a rough fight. All mages, although Rosa's been doing some work with her bow and arrow, so she might be doing all the heavy lifting for this particular fight here.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But I believe we're meant to start talking a lot during this scene, right? Because there's nothing special that comes up. It's just the boring music, right?
Yeah, lots of boring stuff. So we are free to talk about whatever it is that we want to talk about. And
ooh, so I can talk about cricket?
And LUF getting through that, I think that's probably one of the better options that you can get, because there's not a whole lot of physical attacking going on at that spot, so gets through. Rewarded with the Baron key. That'll be interesting. Meanwhile, PlumeriaKnight does squeak in just slightly sooner in the first objective being done. That Demus just melted from the nukes.
Yeah, kind of fascinating that we're about an hour and 10 in. We just completed our first objective for each of our runners, and they're different objectives. And in a very prescient play from LUF, guess what? Because he took the Baron Chocobo, guess where he just landed up? Around Baron. We could do that check right now.
Yes, we could. Meanwhile, PlumeriaKnight finishes off the Elements spot, and oh, there's the tower key. That's another one of our required objectives.
So now we are a rat tail away from no mode, but there's so many spots left on the world which are open to us. We have no one's gone up the tower. I'll point. No one opted to Keyless Tower. We still have the both I don't think anyone ever has done Cave Bahamut, nor have they done the Mirror Summer Altar, and LUF has also faded that Evil Wall because it just gave him the business.
See, here's what I think is going to happen, because PlumeriaKnight now has the tower key. Like, I gotta imagine doing... Okay, so looks like both PlumeriaKnight and LUF are going to be going in to launch the Falcon right now. PlumeriaKnight will be able to route in doing the tower at the same time. Wants to peek at what that boss is first, which, okay, I mean, that's fine. I don't think this is one of those spots that there's no, like, you complete the objective, yeah, and if you're worried about just getting objectives done, that's fine, but at the same time, this doesn't lead to anything. It doesn't unlock anything else.
But you know you have to do it, and for PlumeriaKnight, just being able to peek who's there, just helps in general. Because if you see that, it's fine. If you're happy if you see Val at the top of the tower, because that is one of the very few spots remaining where Val can take a nuke and take damage, for what we've seen. So yeah, from PlumeriaKnight, this is a reasonable play up in my view. Like, I guess from LUF perspective, this is also a way to get underground, so that's it's fine either way.
We have our Great Value Doom Noodle available at our first check at the King Queen spot. The waves still do percentage base damage, so it's not free by any stretch of the imagination, but LUF certainly has the levels to be able to handle it. So does PlumeriaKnight, who grinded all the way up to nuke. It's interesting. We saw LUF do kind of that early grind. Levels are no longer his specialty. PlumeriaKnight will be able to leverage that much more to the nth degree.
Yeah, this is like I said, this is kind of the downside of only doing half of your grind and then commit to moon. Like, there's just some checks where you just need to get nuke, and the fact that LUF doesn't have nuke, and like, I wouldn't surprise me if PlumeriaKnight, having gotten to this Leviathan fight sooner. Oh hey.
Ew.
Huh. Interesting.
Well, we see PlumeriaKnight like turning everything all the way slow.
Yeah.
Both LUF and PlumeriaKnight saved, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yes, they were safe, but this is also kind of not a nice thing to see here anyway. Although it's probably going to be a lot better for PlumeriaKnight because we have nuke, so we're not dependent on Palm doing the rest of the damage, unlike LUF here. Like, the fact that we're even getting direct target nukes off Wyvern. Yeah, so yeah, one more nuke should be good, I believe. Unless we get unlucky with this roll. Okay, we got really unlucky with this roll, and meanwhile, board AI has it out for Hallam here. I think that's what, 4?
It's a lot, yeah.
But yeah, PlumeriaKnight is now through, defeated Wyvern, and is going to get his second objective done, which of launch the Falcon.
Worth noting, LUF entered this particular, launching the Falcon objective first. PlumeriaKnight passed with those levels, just out-nuked LUF at that point in time. So we'll launch the Falcon first, and we'll also get our peek of our boss here. Oh, that is that Val.
I called it, didn't I? I guess I'm a witch now? Is that how that works?
I believe that's the typical response that we are supposed to do, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And yeah, unfortunately for LUF takes a wipe there. Again, just not having levels kind of makes that unfortunate. But yes, PlumeriaKnight should be incredibly happy to see Val at top of the tower for what it's worth, because now he knows that his the only possible rude fight left in the game that could be a problem would be Ogre Pogo, and Ogre Pogo can be played around.
Well, and even Ogo Pogo at this point would not be bad for this particular party if you're just nuking everything down.
Ogre is just rude because of the flame count, the blaze counters, which are totally ice. Yeah, you just have to consider reflecting nukes, but then the person you have to target also needs to be able to survive the waves. So you have to do a bit of finagling to make that work.
So Tella, right? We put it. Oh, speaking of Ogo Pogo.
Wow. Or we could just have it be here and not care because, well, one nuke will kill it anyway. So, it all works.
I think a Lit 2 would kill it at this point.
I think Virus was the fastest spell, but that's just, we're talking about a couple of seconds here compared to menuing.
So Super Cannon done. We're still only a rat tail away, aren't we?
Yep, we are still one rat tail away from go mode. PlumeriaKnight completes objective number 4, destroy the Super Cannon. Yep, rat tail go mode, and there's actually not. And we have a whole bunch of spots left to consider.
Well, we still need to do top of tower, so the 2 tower turn-ins we still have to do. We still have Luca Key, which we haven't done. Baron Key as well in those 2 locations as well. Plus the 3 checks on the moon that we haven't done. So there's still lots of opportunity for interesting shenanigans.
Yeah, so this should be 3 mix max from PlumeriaKnight, unless we get bad rolls. So this should be an incredibly quick fight. Okay, that was maybe 2. Oh, that had to have been close. That had to be a very close kick to the kill there. I think there's only I think there's hundreds of hit points left on that Valvalis, if my mental map is correct.
Yeah, and it's
unfortunate.
Down
it's down now, but at this point I'm going, really? What? I was like a couple hundred short, if that. This is actually making me look up the actual spot now. Please hold.
Meanwhile, just some armor that's up on top of town.
Okay, so just under 1,000 by my. Okay, just under 1,000. Okay, so it was that was 1,800 something. So yeah, it was a couple hundred, short by a couple hundred, but kind of unfortunate.
LUF still working his way through this wyvern. This is under normal circumstances, I think you go into this particular fight and not, you entered the underground thinking I can handle just about anything, except for that wyvern, which was a little bit rough. But LUF is now through.
Meanwhile, PlumeriaKnight is about to get their reward from destroying the super cannon, and it is. Hey, so that edge we had a while ago, we could do that now, I guess. All right.
Interesting that. Huh. Okay, we're going to do the package cutscene now. Okay.
I mean, we may as well. Like, at this point, we know that from PlumeriaKnight's point of view, we're not going to get that edge anymore. We don't care. We've already got our nuke levels. We don't need Val insurance. So now's the perfect time to just do this now while we're here. And we can just go hit that up. Go to the moon. It's just mildly unfortunate that we know we have to come back to Earth anyway. Because I'm pretty sure that PlumeriaKnight has exhausted everything that is available to him.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we know that one of Twin Heart Baron Luca has to have the goods of some sort. Whether it be through the pan itself, or through or Rattel, or through the pan. Alternatively, it could be on the moon, because we still have 3 spots on the moon which are outstanding for us.
Well, a lot of those fights that we saw LUF was able to take up on the moon, PlumeriaKnight is at a much higher level, so we'll be able to kind of rush through them much, much faster. So it'll be interesting to see at what point in time. We know where the Twin Harp is, and we know Luca Key. Looks like LUF, meanwhile, is about to take on the Fey March bosses. But it will be interesting to see what decisions PlumeriaKnight ends up making and what else he ends up finding up here on the moon. I imagine he's probably hoping for a pass at some point, just because, hey, if I'm going to be up on the moon, I want to be able to clear it out.
Yeah, that's very reasonable. So looks like PlumeriaKnight is going bottom up. So we know he's going to get the Twin Harp here. By doing this, it's just more of a question of what does he get from this evil wall? Because if that evil wall has the rat tail, that is I hate to say it, the ball game. Like, LUF is going to probably last location that check, and by the time we LUF finish closing out the Twin Harp chain, the Baron keychain, the Luca keychain, we could just PlumeriaKnight will be in go. No, might have already finished the fight, but there's a Zeromus fight by then.
So, given what we know, it looks like PlumeriaKnight is kind of I would say has the edge right now.
No, he doesn't have edge. Edge is at Kaipo.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Okay, but where does this rat tail need to be to keep LUF in this race?
I think to keep LUF in this race, it has to be. I think it has to be in Luca. Because I feel like that's the natural spot LUF will go next after completing Tower. Luca, having access to Luki, that is a relatively quick check, so it has. I think for LUF to catch up, Rattel has to be there. or has to come from, or it could be the panda, which then leads to the rat tail. I think that is LUF's out at this point.
Lukaki, or maybe Baron, because Baron was behind the Twin Heart.
I don't think it ends up being Baron, because I feel like the way PlumeriaKnight ends up routing, assuming he full clears the moon, and this is also assuming that the moon doesn't have the rat tail. PlumeriaKnight's natural routing ends up being completes giant, goes and I guess leaves the whale at Baron, or you can just take or change airships, go to Baron, then take the Chocobo up to Cave Magus, and then once you're done there, you just then are at Baron. That's your next check. So yeah, I feel like LUF would probably go to Baron, I guess, after Luca, but like that might be enough, too much time given over. But LUF, no, but I still maintain I think LUF's out has to be sealed cave. If the rat tail's there, I think we have a race. And you can see from Plumeria's side, this is the difference of having nuke on your casters. Like Evil is not going to take too many more actions, because those nukes are coming in relatively thick and fast, and we'll have one of our answers to that shortly. Although Evil is being a cheaty so-and-so on ATB and hitting all our party members pretty well.
Yeah, we have our first reset on Plumeria's side. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Evil cheats. Like, that's all it is to it. Evil cheats. Yeah, so just change our strategy somewhat. Make sure we have a blink on the front palm first, and then we can start cycling through things. Also going to battle speed 6, just to really make sure we're able to get through this. But yeah, LUF is also through that Demus. Is about to take on the Queen of Summon Monsters, that Leviathan's fight, and this might be a bold choice, I think. Without saving.
Yeah, this might be a little bit rough, because he's punchy. He's very punchy here, but already got some blinks off, which is good.
But I guess, if Rosa has the Arty Bow and Mute Arrows, this is actually probably a fine setup anyway. Because the goal is to try to get through the second phase and then just completely destroy Ruby phase. Again, the reason LUF is taking it this way is because no nuke. This is the big thing. No nuke on LUF means that he has to do this a somewhat awkward way, as opposed to what would probably be the fast way of reflecting nuke onto elements, or rather, getting the phase change into Ruby and then get nuke and then reflecting nukes, because the punches are the main threat here. Alright, PlumeriaKnight is now through. Is now through. Mirror of Truth time.
Hey,
well, so that's awkward news for LUF, because now we know that he's going to have to walk back up through the Lunar subterrain to get to Zeromus, as opposed to going to Troya. Yeah, Plumeria is going to get through this Kuiper fight very quickly, and this I think it was Marlon and friends fight relatively quickly, and then so about in roughly 3 minutes, let's say, we're going to see probably going to spy who what Ruby and this Mirror also potentially have.
So PlumeriaKnight just opts for Quakes. Has all the levels, so it's fine with the opposite of retreating.
Yeah. But what about more levels? What if we want to get Meteor on Rydia? Or we could just reset completely and, be on our merry way. That works too.
Yeah, not even worried about the fanfare. I think at this point you're fine with your levels. Tella will be curse ringed and we're set up fine in terms of agility for our Zeromus fight as well.
Yeah. It looks like LUF seems to be through the this elements fight, doing it again a bit slower than I would expect, but we're still through. We're through, so that's the main thing.
Getting through, that's all that matters, really.
Yeah. He's going to get his tower key. Probably go head straight up lower Babel, and then I have to imagine his next stop will be sealed cave, because you don't have to commit to, the one thing I do like about sealed, you're in the area, B, all you're essentially committing to is the walk. It's the only. We know that the only awkward key item that could possibly be is the pan, but pan is probably okay to get.
Following the objectives, I mean, I don't hate this. I don't hate this on left side.
No, you should be doing your objectives. Like, because from his perspective, if this ends up being rat tail, then that's go mode. You just get up and go and win the game.
Absolutely. Meanwhile, I believe this was an assassin dagger on Plumeria's side. Worth noting, and this is something that I just realized, LUF just now got his 10th key item. Plumeria also just passed 10 key items when he did the ribbon room. So an hour 30 into this race, we're just now getting to the 10 key item mark.
Yeah. Actually, no, hang on. Where was Baron Key again?
Baron Key was behind the Twin Harp.
Right. That's right.
All right.
See, it's one of
other checks. The mirror saw my altar.
Yeah, because like I was trying to remember. Yeah, it's been one of those scenes where it's like there's been so much going on that it's just sometimes one of those things kind of slipped out of my mind.
Certainly one of those scenes that I don't think anyone feels in control during the entire time. You're just kind of rolling with the punches. And hey, how would you like 2 scoops
vanilla?
Of vanilla?
I do like ice cream, thank you very much. Ice cream is delicious.
I'm not gonna lie, I got up like half a second ago after we talked about vanilla the first time and realized I do not have any ice cream in my freezer, so now I'm sad.
Yeah, this should be a pretty quick fight. Like, the fact that Rose went down is not that important, and yet down goes Paladin very, very quickly because we have Nuke.
Oh, resets out of the pink tail. Okay.
I like it. I mean, you're at the levels now that's, and you've seen most of the bosses where having an adamant armor would be really good. I think, and the downside is that your new Rosa went down, so you have to revive her. So save on healing.
I mean, I get it. This is one of those points where it makes logical sense, but I say heck to your logic. I want my adamant armor.
I mean, fair. This is the Adamant Cup after all. The entire point is to play with an adamant armor. But I think this case, it's one of those things where it's like, is it really worth the time to exit out because exit out and also heal up Rosa, and also we have to then eventually go. I guess we have to go to go there anyway to get to turn the rat tail, but again we have two new castles and a white castle. This room there's only a few bosses left, which might be awkward for our party, where an adamant armor would be useful versus all the levels that we've got.
Like I said, objectively, you are absolutely right. That doesn't make me any happier about it.
Look, sometimes you have to make the tough calls. Sometimes you can't always get what you want.
But if I try sometimes, I might find I get what I need.
Well, apparently you don't need adamant armor since we've reset the pigtail, so Crystal ring. Okay. Alright, so yep, now we get to see the fun thing of what's on the giants. Have we seen, so who haven't we seen? We haven't seen Alt Gauntlet, right?
Yeah, we haven't seen Alt Gauntlet. Ooh. We haven't seen Alt Gauntlet. We haven't seen CPU.
Oh god, CPU would be awful. Yes, especially if it's at the element spot, because that is quote unquote not fun.
What do you do if you're this party? Because CPU would be horrible for a mage focused party.
Basically, I think the way you would get through that is basically you have to nuke down the defender, and then hope beyond hope that your float lands onto the attacker, and then you can then you basically have Quake strats. Like, I don't think spamming Meteor works per se, because A, it's really extensive, and B, there's just so much hit points. That's like 65k, so that might be a lot slow compared to just having a whole bunch of quakes.
Yeah, we'll see. LUF through this fight. Ooh, Octomom at this location. Okay.
That's fine. That you're almost happy to see. That's probably the I haven't really checked who's left, but like I imagine that's probably the one of the best case scenarios to see there. But now we'll be interested to see where LUF goes from here. I think the play for LUF, for him to have a shot, is to go to sealed right now. And then we have an interesting race on our hands.
Well, here's the cutscene.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, we have PlumeriaKnight slowly working his way. Octomom really not punching that hard here, thankfully.
And no, and the gimmick here is that once you, the more you hit Octomom, the slower it gets. So yeah. So this stops being a problem anytime soon. And yep, as I suspected, going to do the sealed cave check.
You're right. I like this check. I think it's gotta be the rat tail itself in order for LUF to still be in it, because that's 3 other checks that he hasn't done. He's got to be in good mode after this. If it's the pan, that just makes it a much more difficult decision.
Yeah, I think if it is pan and pan leads to rat tail, I think LUF still has a shot, because as I said, PlumeriaKnight still is going to go. Still has to do cave mags, and I think is then incentivized to do Baron afterwards because he is in the area.
No safety save, immediately to CPU, and we nice.
Oh, this is gross. This is gross, by the way. This is a gross fight. Although I think PlumeriaKnight might have been better served if we went to actually nuke Mindy first, because I think Mindy doesn't have enough hit points to survive when you compel him. So then you don't get the wall. All you get is the wall from Sandy, and you can just nuke from there.
It's the pan.
Okay. Now choices need to be made here. But yeah, PlumeriaKnight is through. Is through that fight. The second Quake took out the sisters, and then a few more just to seal the deal. Yeah, and we now get a new character check.
Hey,
hey.
Forum.
What everyone wanted. Oh, and a free
water tag. Okay.
Okay. So that's not too bad. That's something that doesn't pay. That's probably good because that means levels aren't important here to get through this fight quickly. Actually, given that, so I think given PlumeriaKnight doesn't have the Baron here, I guess it makes more sense to go to Troya to get your Black Chocobo that way.
Well, and he doesn't know. LUF swagged it, but he didn't know that the Baron Key is from here either. So
yeah, it's true.
He got kind of lucky guess that.
Yeah. I mean, it's also easier for Chocobo to get sometimes because there's only the Chocobo isn't really moving around that much compared to in that big massive Chocobo forest. Yeah, this is also very interesting because LUF has to then do the pan checks. Still also has to complete the giant, which, given that is not necessarily a quick check either. So this is still a very interesting race at the very least.
No, absolutely.
Also doesn't have to pass. Also no pass. That's the other big thing.
Well, and
so it has
this
to walk.
Pan ends up being the location, then you gotta wonder, is PlumeriaKnight gonna cash in the Baron Key and waste all that time in Baron as well?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's true. That is my suspicion, that if it's we are actually about to find out very quickly where the Baron key is where it's at. Because if it is Baron, then PlumeriaKnight's going to might actually be there pretty quickly, and that might just be and with LUF having to walk through the Lunar subterrain, and also complete the giant. That might be too much. Protect ring. All right. So is it Sheila 2 or is it Baron key? That is the question right now. Meanwhile, we have a prize of music from PlumeriaKnight, so we're just going to not talk about anything.
And it was just a life staff at Sheila 2, so it is guaranteed to be in Baron at this point in time. LUF is absolutely heading there. PlumeriaKnight, meanwhile, I was a little concerned because that's a high magic resist spot, but nuke apparently means never having to say you're sorry.
Yeah, nuke is strong enough, has a high enough spell power that it gets through the high magic defense. Although, like I said, if there was a Val here, that would have been very awkward. But we knew Val's already gone. We knew that, so that's okay. And it's interesting where PlumeriaKnight goes from here. We know that we need to go to Baron. It's just a matter of whether it is liberating the Baron Castle or is it the Odin spot. And he is parked right there, so PlumeriaKnight is hot on LUF's heels, but also in a sense, but LUF is behind behind both the opening using the package and also behind completing the giants. So, and also has to walk down Lunar subterrain. So this might be it might take a few Zeromus fights for PlumeriaKnight to lose this, I believe.
Meanwhile, we do have our opening Bahamut, which I don't think either of our runners are particularly going to struggle with.
No. And yeah. There you go. That is Bahamut down for LUF. And no, PlumeriaKnight is going to have one spell cast to get through this this fight way a lot faster because still has nuke, and LUF's character last round doesn't have nuke either, which is kind of unfortunate.
Hey, look, 3 scoops of vanilla.
Is that such against too much ice cream? I think the answer is no.
There is no such thing as too much ice cream.
Okay.
Ooh, look at these levels on PlumeriaKnight's side. Even Rydia has over 2,000 health.
Even Tella has over 1,200. Let that sink in. Because that curse ring just no.
Yeah.
And almost near simultaneous in sync crumble.
4 scoops of vanilla.
Amazing. So now it comes to whether it's here or is it the Odin spot. Hey, it's a spoon!
Hey, do we want to go get Edward, level him up now?
No. Like, we're almost at 2 hours, an hour 52 in, like, that's so many eggs to get him viable. And it's not like we're going to, and no, from PlumeriaKnight's side, we already have nuke white. Oh, no, gauntlet. Oh well. One quake and we're done. Both the runners will have a rat tail, and be in go mode in almost the exact same time.
I'm trying to think. Okay, so the bosses that we have not seen: Alt Gauntlet. We have not seen CPU.
Yeah.
And what else have we not seen? Because there's only 3 spots left, right?
Yeah. 2 spots. Oh yeah, 3 spots. 3 spots, but there's 4 bosses. So we saw that. Please hold while I consult this chart. Do we see DMs? Dark Imps?
We haven't seen Dark Imps. That's right.
But there's 4 boss. What's the 4th boss then? Did we see Dark Elf? I feel like we haven't. That's alright.
Yeah.
These are the mystery. These mysteries will be left to the ages as both our runners are in go mode, but PlumeriaKnight is going to go towards Zeromus in about a minute, whereas LUF has a bit more time to do. A few more things to do.
So there is the crystal, and hey, I mean, if we needed anything else on Rydia.
I would not recommend using summons against the Zeromus fight, and also just realize that's D-Mist burning down Mist Village. Is that just
It very
wrong?
much is D-Mist burning down Mist Village.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, in Phineas, we are going to very quickly transition here on our way over to Zeromus.
Yeah. It's just a normal fight, right? Like, all that happens is, we go in the fight. Zeromus reveals his normal form, and yeah, we just beat him, right? There's nothing special about this, right?
There's nothing special. You're right. We can all go home. It's a foregone. No, absolutely not.
What?
So this is a randomizer community, and one of the things that we like to do, we love randomizing things. The problem is Zeromus, between his HP and his move pool, we really can't move him out of this location. But what we can do is change his true colors when you use the crystal on him. There are more than 500 different sprites that our wonderful community has put together for that. So the question often becomes, whose butt are we going to kick tonight?
So what's your favorite?
My favorite? I'm a fan of the jokes. So like Clippiness or 404 Errormus not found or things like that.
Okay. No. So like things like Zeromus, as in the number 0 miss, or things along those lines.
Yeah. I want to have some fun at the end because usually I'm in a bad mood because of how poorly I've run a race. So I'm like, I need a laugh.
I mean, fair. I appreciate that. I run races for you all the time. So you know. Well, there goes half our party.
No, we're already down party numbers.
And that was not a small number from that nuke. Yeah, Pound should survive this counter nuke.
Not
Look like that did more than I expected. Honestly, but still that's
So two nukes, and you got whites bouncing as well.
Yeah.
So, do you want to explain exactly why we're bouncing nukes instead of just direct casting?
Okay, so technically, Zeromus only has 61,000 hit points, but what the developers thought would be neat would be just to try to simulate the fact that this big boss has more than 61. It has about roughly 100,000 hit points. They put in a builder script that says when I have less than 1,500 hit points or so, refresh my hit points and then and change my condition to go to a different phase. But one thing about reflecting spells is it bypasses counters, and that hit HP regrowth is a counter. So we bypass that hit point refresh counter, and we just only need to do 61k hit to our Thanosmus.
And at this point, you just have to keep track. We've got one big bang that Rosa can take kind of a full big bang on her own right now. It's 3,300. I mean, this is power overwhelming like you don't normally get to see.
I mean, it'd be nice if we had an Iron Armor on someone to make sure of this, but no, that's it. We are done. PlumeriaKnight has finished, is our winner with a time of 1 hour, 58 minutes, and 50 seconds. GG's.
GG's with only one big bang. That's a lot of power getting pushed out in a very short period of time. GG's
and
to PlumeriaKnight, who does move on to the next round.
And I do believe we are enjoyed by PlumeriaKnight. GG's and congrats on taking the win here.
Thank you.
So talk us through the early game. Starting Magma Key with some suboptimal characters.
Yeah, this is fine.jpg. Kind of those two starting characters. Yeah, I was afraid of the starting Magma Key just because of how much it opened up. But it does open up a lot of freebies for those two characters, especially, and a lot of loot. So I just figured let's see what we can find and go from there. And eventually, Palom was really the key to solving that early game for me.
Yeah, yes, Palom definitely did a lot of heavy lifting, as he is want to do in this flag set. Actually, I have to ask, at what point did you find out that Eddie started with a dancing dagger?
He started with a dancing dagger?
Did you find one today?
I think he started with a crossbow, yeah.
Oh, right, it must have been, you must have found a dancing dagger. Alright, okay.
Either that or I didn't notice. I just found it in battle.
Okay, it could just be you actually found, no. It could just be you found it, because I saw the dancing dagger. I thought, okay, that's a way through the early game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was a big because I did do Fabul before Hobbs, and then Hobbs itself when Palom didn't have any level 2 spells. So.
Yeah. So speaking of Fabul, you get that early darkness crystal. what flows through your head as soon as you see that?
Well, haven't found sirens yet, so I'm thinking D machine. That's basically all I'm thinking at that point, and hoping that maybe sirens are on the moon, or what is this grind? What is even my party going to look like? Because I haven't even found a halfway decent party yet.
Yeah, so, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, I guess the other question is, I definitely have this. You start with you have a black mage, white mage, and I forget who else is. But you go up start, and then you find that you have Iridia.
Yeah.
So at that point, you fully commit to going full reflect at that point.
Yeah.
Was there any concern? Were you just going to gamble on not seeing Val?
Basically, yeah. The plan was I had seen Kane at that point, so he can anchor for me and jump, and then I'll just last location that Val spot if she appears in a place where I can't get her, or maybe I can. I think I had forged at that point, so Artemis bow was available, so maybe I can buy one of those to protect against Val, just to Zerk up Rosa. It'll be slow, but it'll probably be faster than walking to wherever that Val spot is and then walking back, something like that.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Just kind of fortunate that Val ended up being a spot that way she could be microwaved. So
definitely.
Yeah. So you go to the moon and you find you find sirens for sailed in, and was getting rid of your trigger to just go get your 30 sirens and just grind up that way?
Yeah, it felt like the fastest way to just get through the seed. Not sure if it was. Maybe the D machine would have been faster. I could only do somehow I think I had 30 sirens and I did one gold dragon, and then the rest were on eggs, and somehow Rydia barely got to nuke. So I'm not sure where the math got wonky there, but it was a good thing that I did the dragons, I guess.
Yeah, because it's 30. The old strat is 30 sirens in a dream. So
yeah,
because she needs, I think, all 30 off memory. So yep. So you've now advanced to the round of 16. Going up against, I believe, Moonblaze Wolf. So what are your thoughts on that matchup?
Well, LUF pushed me to my limits, so it's out of the frying pan and into the fire. I think Moonblaze Wolf is a really great player, probably one of the best in our community, and I think I'm gonna have to do either something special or just play well enough that route divergence can maybe get me some luck. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, fair enough. Potato, do you have any questions? Because I'm pretty much tapped out at this point.
No, I mean it was a fantastic race, and I'm just kind of curious because it felt like the first priority as you were running around was trying to find a party. You were doing party checks that, for example, Dwarf Castle, which led to Earth Crystal, that you did there, was finding your party kind of the first priority, and then you rolled out from there.
Yeah, definitely. Most of the spots that I could get to, I couldn't do, anything with the party that I had. So I just felt like I needed something else to really get started. And, luckily I was able to find some things that, the pieces really kind of fell together for me. I was going to go with Rosa and Palom, but finding Rydia on top of Zot, even though I got the Zonk from the prize, it still felt like that was better, especially with Demus lurking. It's just, that's better. That fight's going to be so slow with just one nuker.
Yeah, totally agree.
I had another question, but miss it. So.
Well, that's all right. In that case, do you have any final thoughts on this seed?
It was pretty. I don't know. It was fun. At first, I was a little overwhelmed, and I just thought, oh man, this is gonna be a grueling slog. Getting a sub 2 feels pretty good. Doing the giant, and then almost everything else just fading Luca and the pan that must have been behind there. So yeah, it felt like a pretty good seed overall.
Anyway, GG's, congrats on making it through, and look forward to seeing you progress through the tournament.
All right, thank you so much for the restream. Thank you, Vitasia, Infinius, Black Ice, and of course Scala Kitty on the restream team today. Thanks, guys.
All right, thank you so much. That was PlumeriaKnight. Again, if you like what you saw from him, go ahead and give him a follow here on Twitch. Same thing with LUF as we finish up while LUF enters his Zeromus fight. Also, a shout out again to the folks behind the scenes, Black Ice for tracking, and Scala Kitty for the restream.
Yeah, and we're glad to see LUF take on the Zeromus fight. Has completed the giant. Has gone nuke levels, but in that process. So it's actually gonna have a bit of a slightly rougher Zeromus fight compared to PlumeriaKnight, only because we have 2 white mages as compared to 2 black mages. That just ends up being a bit slower. But we'll see. I'm sure we'll see LUF take it home. Oh, okay. Swapping bows. Okay. Yeah, that plays because
Yep, because you have to cast
one down
now. So, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure at this point LUF has seen the race. Has kept an eye on the race room, and has realized that probably just wants to make sure this fight just goes a lot smoother. All right, so now for realsies, we will see LUF take on Zeromus. Again, like the problem with having 2 white casters is white doesn't do as much damage, and also it's also a lot slower to cast compared to nuke. So we might. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a second Big Bang at this point. So.
Oh, absolutely. I was going to say nuke is usually just like 1 or 2 ticks, but white is a significantly longer casting, all told. So it can do some damage. It can do some work for you if you're not doing anything else. But you have to commit to it. Unfortunately, it's not the preferred strat. We're going to see all the spells being reflected off right now onto Thanosmus. I think we got 2 whites and a nuke, just kind of back to back. You have to.
Well, I think that's a direct white cast, unless I missed an input.
I thought he bounced it off.
Okay,
we'll
maybe. I'm happy to be wrong here. Either that was a lot of damage. That was like 20. That's just under 20k. So those are two good rolls from our casters. So yeah. Ooh.
Oh.
But we do not get the nerf. I guess we're just going to try to push through the damage, so we might actually see HP run out on Pelham, huh?
It's gonna be close.
Yeah.
I mean, he's chewing through the HP very, very quickly, so he might get there.
Yeah, we saw some high rolls on the white spells already. So no, that's a what? No, that's no. Yeah, this is the danger of having double white castles because it's so. You are going to see that second big bang. So again, it's just kind of a rough fight to try to do double reflects with what. That like not getting the nerf in. You might want to play this a bit slower, and less riskier. So, yeah, it's one of those. It is a once you get the idea of what you need to do there, it's fine. It's just a bit slower. You can't be too aggressive about it, sadly.
Also, I don't know if I've seen a curse string on this tele.
Oh, I mean, both runners should have it, right?
They should have. Well, I mean, LUF didn't get the second one out of the Treasury because it never did the Treasury at all.
No, but I'm pretty confident he had LUF actually got the one in Feymarch because that was in the town. Huh.
Alright, well, true colors emerged. We already have the Star Veil queued up.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just a problem that because the silk web never actually went off. Yeah, we just had to eat the first big bang unnerfed. And that kind of made things a lot more awkward.
See, already shaking, and I didn't see another silk web go off. I think,
Yeah, this might also be, oddly enough, this might also be an issue of how the party is ordered. Like if Pelham is in slot, is the one in the front row as opposed to Porom, this probably ends up being a bit better, I think. Because then you have an instant cast nuke initially, then you get the slow white cast.
Yeah. Worried that we're gonna do having to do another reset out here. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. And yeah. Okay, that's understandable. At that point, that is a rough fight to try to puzzle your way through, and first of all for making those attempts. But we are joined by LUF. GGs and and commiserations on just not being able to, and valiant effort to try to finish that seed out. So I guess the first question I have for you was, if you're able to hear me, LUF, can you hear us? You are still muted on Discord.
Oh, sorry, I'm still muted. Okay, this should be fine now.
Okay, so again, GG's commiserations on that. Let's see that kind of. Did you made a mess of things, didn't it? Yeah, my first question was, what was your thought process behind that warlock run you ended up doing? You took five sirens and 5 myth bells, and went to level 4 Lunar subterrain. What prompted that choice?
Well, there was actually a lot going on in my thought process at that time. I wasn't quite sure what to do. I wasn't comfortable much with my party. I was simply thinking, okay, what kind of odd or weird play can I do to try to get a slight advantage on Plumeria? Because I respect Plumeria a lot. I believe he is the best player, and quite frankly, the best player won today. I was expecting that, so we're kind of simply. I was simply thinking, okay, what can I do to offset the disadvantage I feel like he had in the series? And I thought, okay, well, I guess I could go with some sirens, some new bell, do a grind and try to clear the moon. Evil Wall didn't want that. I knew that Evil Wall was kind of a jerk at that place. I had a very recent practice run exactly like that, so I knew in what kind of trouble I was in. I decided after some wipes, simply, okay, I'm gonna gamble that it's not there. I'm gonna take that Lunar, which is finally an objective for me. I'm gonna simply turn that and see if I kind of lucked out in the route, which was maybe out true in the end.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I did like the idea. I think the one bit of feedback I would give is, if you're going to basically get to nuke. Nuke is such a good spell.
Indeed. I wasn't quite sure if I had enough sirens for me. That's very on me. Simply, I've done a lot of practice in these runs, but I still have a lot of work to do. I know it. I still have to learn my XP table a lot better than that. I still have to work on my execution. I still have to work on a lot of stuff. So yeah, pretty much like you just saw live on stream, though. You can be sure I will be there for the next tournament, which I believe would be Highway to the Zeromus Zone 5. We'll meet again for sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure you will take the lessons you learned from this tournament, and you know what you need to improve on. Sounds like so.
Indeed, that series actually was very eye-opening on some of my weakness I had. I did work some menuing, I did work on a lot of stuff between the two tournaments, but I knew that I still had a lot of work to do. The question now is, can I execute that, and can I do a repeat and get in the top 32 again for the next tournament, which is gonna pretty much be my main objective.
I mean, being in the top 32 is no joke.
Indeed. It's quite a challenge, and we have quite a great community, a lot of good players up there, so it's not easy to do that. So that's going to be my primary goal for sure.
So yeah, I mean, honestly, I think just short, that's probably definitely a big eye opener. Did you consider doing a D machine grind?
I did. I never actually went for Montor deals in the end. I kept telling myself, I'm gonna try some odd stuff, trying to simply skip some portion. Like I said, my thought process was quite a mess in this tournament. Obviously, you can see it from this match. Obviously, in insight, I should have simply went for deals and some dragon grinds. I was kind of hoping maybe for a repeat like last Thursday, where the moon was very kind to me. I went through. I wouldn't say that easily, but it went quite well, and that pretty much gave me the second match. So I simply went, okay, well, I'll do some XP on the way, and try to take advantage of not going to the giant right now. I guess it wasn't that efficient.
I mean, if you feel like you have to make a big play, not doing a D machine grind is also a big play. So that's a reasonable call to make as well, especially if you respect your opponent that much. You feel like you need to gamble. So again, fair credit to acknowledging what you think, how you perceive that matchup, and making plays to try to steal a win essentially.
Indeed.
So I think that for me, I mean, you're obviously going to go. You intend to play in ZZ5. Any other interest in plans to watch the rest of these races and cheer everyone on?
Well, obviously, I'm gonna watch Plumeria a lot. I'm gonna wish him to, pretty much win the whole thing. At least I could have said, hey, I took again a game on the eventual winner tournament. That would be quite fun to be able to say that. So I'm wishing him the best of luck. And anyway, Plumeria is just a very calm guy. Seriously, I had quite a blast in this series with him, so I'm gonna follow for sure. Obviously, I'm gonna watch how Simbu ends up doing in this tourney. I haven't been watching, so I don't even know right now if actually managed to get through. I had quite a busy week, so I'm out of touch. I will have a lot of VOD to do. That's probably gonna help to learn better play. Well, pretty much everyone. At this point, pretty much everyone is an incredible player, and there's so much to learn out there. And obviously, the Restream team is so awesome. Thanks for doing all of that for us. It's quite a blast. Those interviews, those comments while we're playing, and all. Everything you do is just great and very appreciated. Thanks again.
Well, it was our pleasure to watch you race through that. Again, GG's.
Thanks.
Vitasia, did you have any questions for LUF here?
No, I think just one last GG's, of course, to you, LUF. And it's always a pleasure watching you race, and good luck to you here in the future tournaments.
Thank you, and I hope everyone will have a blast in the top 16, because I believe it was the last game. Ciao, and see you all.
All right, thank you. That was LUF, of course. If you like, one last shout out to both LUF and PlumeriaKnight, our two raid runners for the evening. If you like what you saw, go ahead and give them a follow here on Twitch. Also, one last shout out to the Restream team, Scala Kitty, Black Ice, for the restream and tracking behind the scenes, and of course, my co-commentator, Infinius. Always a pleasure working with you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure. This scene was a blast. It was very interesting to talk about, especially with all the diversion actions all around race have taken.
Absolutely. We're going to go ahead and send you guys over to Tybalt, who is doing some practice seeds right now. So make sure you do not spoil the results of this ladder seed. I'm sorry, doing a ladder seed. So I'm sorry. So don't spoil this race for anyone over there. In the meantime, thank you everyone. We'll see you at the next race, and remember, we are off tomorrow. Round of 16 starts on Tuesday. Have a great rest of your evening, all.